version he brought with him.
Oh,
Recording in progress.
No,
okay.
I
We
just
didn't
have the
get a copy.
packet. No, she just said if you wanted to bring your flash drive, you would. That's what's in the packet. There would be, yeah.
Okay. Do we have the copy of the PDF?
I have it in the packets.
I can just speak to it as well as they've got it in the packet, so one more thing.
Thank you.
Sorry about this. It's all hers. My position's off. You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. It is now 6 p.m. and the June 1st City Council meeting will come to order. This evening's invocation is presented by Councilmember Jody Shirley.
Thank you, Mayor. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight acknowledging that the leadership of this city is a sacred trust. We thank you for the provisions of a potential 6% increase in revenues based on information provided by the Pinellas County Property Appraiser. We ask you for wisdom to allocate these resources exactly where they are needed most within the city. Lord, we lift up our community. We know many of our neighbors are frustrated by the tough choices we've had to make recently. We ask you to soften our hearts, to understand their burdens, and to grant them patience and peace as we navigate through this budget season. Give this council, our staff, and the mayor the spirit of unity, humility, and discernment. Help us to put personal agendas aside and work with one mind to serve every citizen in this city. May all that we do tonight bring honor to your name and lasting benefit to our community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Councilmember Shirley. Now, please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bankard,
Present.
Councilmember Harper,
Present.
Councilmember Shirley,
Here.
Vice Mayor Roberts,
Here.
Mayor Gaddis,
Here.
City Manager Reifler,
Here.
City Attorney Trask.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Our first order of business is approval of the agenda. I see that we had an update to the agenda. I would like to just enter in that is what the actual agenda is now. That would be the minutes in section 12. Is that correct? All right.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Motion is made by Councilmember Shirley. Do I have a second?
One question. I'd like to move these minutes, I make a motion to move these minutes so they can be discussed because we cannot discuss the consent agenda.
A motion is made to table this till later in the meeting. Do I have a second? Sorry, motion dies. Do I have a second on the approval of the agenda? Second. All right. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Me.
All right, the agenda is approved. Next, we have presentations from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, beginning with the monthly law enforcement report. Welcome, sir.
Good evening. I'm Corporal Jurgen, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. The following is the monthly analysis of crime, arrests, and deadly activity within Mother Beach for April 2026. There were 4 arrests reported, all the traffic related minus 1 DUI, for coding. Deputies conducted 565, responded to 565 events. Most common is direct patrols, ordinance violations. There were a total of 181 traffic citations or warnings issued. And we continue to perform our Gulf Guard e-bike direct patrols.
Thank you very much, Corporal. do we have any comments or questions for the Pinellas County Sheriff's Department?
I just have one question. You talked about citations / warnings.
Yeah, so
Do you break that down between what is actually a written ticket versus what is just a don't do it again?
our deputies have discretion to kind of give either or.
I'm just still saying in the breakdown of your numbers, do you number out what are these numbers are tickets actually versus the chart or
Yes, I actually go over it. It looks like 53% of 57% were warnings. There were boat warnings as well in the area, which looks like 20%. Traffic warnings or traffic citations were 16%, and then there were parking. It just says parking, so I don't know if it doesn't get parking.
No, thank you. That just helpful to give you a perspective of how they approach it.
Any other questions or comments, council? All right, thank you, Corporal, for being here.
Thank you.
All right, now we're on to.
I don't have a question, but I just need, I have a question for Kathy. Can you tell me this one is not down?
Oh, sure.
And while that's going on, can everyone hear, or is it too quiet? Good. All right. Are we good?
Yes.
All right. Now we're on to the monthly code enforcement report. Deputy Trump.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Appreciate you having me here. We are getting into our busier months now, obviously getting into summertime and some of our holidays and everything else. So with that, we've been relatively busy this month. It has been nothing major, thank goodness. So, but we are starting to see, a lot of those little calls as far as, lawns getting tall, things like that need to be addressed, which we are going through the city and addressing those as they come and as I also see them myself. We are also trying to keep up with the ever-growing amount of construction that is going on in the city. As you all know, there are several houses that are under construction. So we're trying to watch the construction sites there, do permit checks, and permits have been pretty compliant. We've had a couple minor ones with just some addition that didn't have the proper permitting, but we've had good compliance as far as getting that straightened out. But we're trying to watch the construction sites to make sure that they are keeping them, relatively clean, knowing that they obviously are construction sites, but we're trying to keep them relatively clean, keep the curbs swept up and things like that. This last month we did have on some of our a little bit older cases, we did have 4 hearings on some of the cases that we've been dealing with, everything as far as a very green pool that's been going on for months. We've had that. We had a lot that was well overgrown, the pepper tree. We have been able to take care of that one. And we have 2 other homes that are having just some minor issues. We are slowly getting the compliance with that and starting to get permits. So everything is being taken care of as far as the hearings, and they went very well. I had 45 new cases this last month, 38 follow-ups that I concluded, and I closed 40 cases. We currently have 20 cases that are open with various activities. And that was even with me taking a week off. So, any questions?
Council.
Officer Trump. On the works outside of construction hours, was that typically just like overage of the crews working longer during the day, or is it typically?
No, sir. I actually came in on the last holiday, and I went through the whole city, and those were violations where they were actually working on the holidays. Most of them do not understand. They don't know that there is an ordinance. So it's not like gonna go out and write a citation for it, but we definitely will clear the sites and try and give the neighbors a little bit of peace and not have any construction going on in their lot.
Okay, thank you. The number just stands out above all the other types, so I was just curious as to
Yes.
why that stood out. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, sir.
Right now, we're up to item number 3, presentation from Pinellas Suncoast Fire and Rescue District. Welcome, Chief Grimes.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Give me a second to put this up. All right. So thanks again. This is our monthly report. There's something called Fire Academy 101, Fire Ops 101 that happens every year, and next year I want to make sure that you get an invite. But so citizens or public employees or council members, in this case, the gentleman in the blue shirt is our commissioner, Commissioner Bowling, one of our fire commissioners who actually had to put on all the gear and fight fire. They have a lot of fun with it, and so I think it's a great interaction. You don't have to do all that if you don't want. You can sit and watch, but it's a great day to go and sort of see what the day in the life of a firefighter is all about. So that happened this month, and it happens every year around this time. There was also Mental Health Awareness Day. The person who balances our boats is also a yoga instructor, and so she helps the guys with some balancing poses. But for mental health awareness this month, doing yoga in the department. Y'all probably heard about the boat fire on Egmont Key. I know it's not in Bel Air Beach, but our fireboat was the only working fireboat in Pinellas or Manatee County that actually responded. So you can see them here. This is on Egmont with hard suction, which is sucking up water, and the line going off the front of the boat is supplying water to the fire. So we were there putting out that fire. We did have a fire on the mainland. It was a garage fire. It was from a lithium battery, but not an electronic vehicle. But I'm trying to give more action, photos in my presentation. But what this really shows is the difference between great tactics and losing a house. So I've been on many fires where a fire in a garage like this, our firefighters, instead of applying water to the front of this fire, which is sort of what your knee-jerk would be, they entered through the front door and then pushed the fire back out of the house. So I've seen actually in Pinellas County many times where if you do it wrong and push the fire through the building, and then the house is unoccupiable. In this case, save the entire structure and limited it to the garage by the aggressive use of really good tactics. And there's nothing better than the fire to make a bunch of guys feel great. Guys and gals actually feel great about their work. So this is after the fire. I put the statistics in there for you guys to review. It also has the other jurisdictions in there. It's fire calls, EMS calls, and then total calls by month. I put this in there to show just Bel Air Beach, and I wanted to, this is total calls, so it does sort of show, like Officer Crump said, a regional or annualized trend, a seasonal trend. We're busier now than we were in the, let's say, December. 77% of our calls up here today are EMS calls, paramedic calls, and 23% are fire-related calls. We respond out of the district. Actually, in this month, we responded a little bit more into the district than out of the district. Typically, we get about half and half. That's the Bel Air Beach again. These are the calls by type in Bel Air Beach. So the fire, we had a boat fire, which I have a picture of our fireboat again. It's always amazing to me that we have a boat that actually starts and a pump that actually starts, and everything works real, together. And this was again a great action sort of photo. But this shows the calls by type. If you had any specific questions, what I do is I scan them for you, and I saw 2 calls of interest. There was a golf cart accident. Did anybody see or hear about that? We sent 6 people, 6 patients, 4 to Bayfront, 1 to All Children's, 2 trauma alerts, 1 to Bayfront, 1 to All Children's. So it was a pretty bad accident. And then it was this boat fire was the other incident. Just people wonder what, I have a few training photos as well, but what firemen do in their off time, they spend many, many hours training. Our training chief, this is him teaching in Clearwater, and then these are our firefighters doing both firefighting training, and this month, because we're coming up to the busy water season, again, it's all about boat, but the pictures there, and we refreshed our marine rescue training this month in preparation for the summer. Around the district, our projects, 28 is gone vertical. I've got a couple pictures for you. So that's the station on the mainland. Our next date, really, that's significant, is when we move in January. We received a grant, and we're still working on getting a contract with the state to fund that grant, but to renovate our station down on the Narrows. Station 26, the Tiki Gardens, the county agrees in concept to allow us to transfer the Tiki Gardens use, a part of it, to us, and so we're going to build Station 26 there, move it from where it is, which is it's in almost a motel type environment. It's not a fire station, so it's going to move there. We're going to build a real fire station. It's exciting. And then Station 75 is what your station is called, the one up here. We again, the concept of buying the house, and we're in the process of renovating the house. It's got all new windows, all new electrical, all new plumbing. It's air conditioners are hung, and it's the picture of this greenhouse here on the right-hand side. And so we will be in service there October 1st. And again, we love that story because it's a $7 million savings to the taxpayer. And I just got an email today from somebody that, since stations are now $10 million, we really got to think about this. And I say, I'm on my soapbox, that no, what we have to say is no, we're not going to spend $10 million to build a station for 3 firefighters. We're just not going to do it. So this is the construction of 28 on the mainland. It's really coming along. Again, January 1st. And then we don't just save lives or property, but this is our division chief of EMS. He's saving this turtle crossing the street. And with that, I'll ask if you have any questions.
Council, any questions for Chief? I guess Councilmember Baker.
2 things. Do you know why that golf cart accident occurred or anything like that?
I do not know the details of it. I don't know if maybe the sheriff's department would, and I can find out.
Yeah, I just wondered because it was at the end of my street.
Okay.
The second thing was you showed pictures of the firemen like doing stuff. You guys came out in the heat last year and helped us sod 3 lots. And
Oh, wow.
we really appreciate that.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
the 3
good.
beach lots.
That's really great to hear.
Yeah, I mean, they worked hard.
Yeah. We've got a great group now, and
Yes, you do.
we're really happy. We love being part of the community. So we thank you for letting us serve, and please let us know how we can serve better.
I saw Deputy Trump standing up back there. Did you want to address that one question?
So the golf cart accident, I know we're aware of it, I wasn't there, but basically it was a single vehicle accident where there were 6 people on the golf cart, including children, I believe, also, but the driver, I guess, swerved for something and overcorrected and literally just flipped the golf cart over. It wasn't involved in another vehicle or another vehicle hit it or anything. They just literally swerved for something, overcorrected, and flipped the golf cart over.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments for Chief?
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment if I can. I was on site for the boat fire. Pleasantly surprised to see a boat in the water fighting fire. Thank you. A lot of questions. Where's the boat kept? I assume Indian Rocks Beach somewhere, but it's a great addition, and you guys did a wonderful job. Heartbreaking seeing the boat burned, the gentleman had just lost his wife, and then the boat, burned to the water line. So it was really a tough situation. And he's owned it as long as I've lived here for 26 years, so I'm sure he's had it much longer than that, and it was pretty devastating.
I'm a boater, lived on a boat, which
Yeah.
breaks my heart too. We're based, the fireboat itself is based on the public docks in the Narrows. And it's really amazing, it's sort of by our station. When the call comes in, the boat automatically goes into the water while the firefighters are going from the station to the boat.
Yeah, they were there, the boat was there as quick as the truck was there.
That's
They
good to
were
hear.
amazing, yeah, they did a great job,
That's good to hear. Thank you.
yeah.
Just a comment.
Yes.
Chief, I just want to compliment you on the statistics. And you can tell I'm an analytics, so I appreciate the numbers and the granularity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If you want more detail or a spreadsheet of them, I'll be happy to just email you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Yes.
So Chief, what was the feedback or comments you may have received from the firefighters with moving towards with the hybrid approach? I was just curious, how do they feel about the residential renovation versus the standard firehouse that we typically build?
They love it. The thing about a modern station is in order to get it to cost $1,000 a square foot, you have to make it industrial. And so it doesn't feel like they're supposed to go to the residents and rest. And so we really approached it as not only is it fiscally responsible, it's also better for the firefighters. There's a big trend right now to have the fire area where they hang out to be cancer free. So free of exhaust fumes, free of the carcinogens that are in the firefighters' gear. And so like in the modern station in 28, they have to build in buffer zones. So there's a green, yellow, red area. So the apparatus floor is red, and then they have to go through a transition room that has a certain airflow, and then go into the main station. This eliminates all that. We're building a very robust shower and decon area, so they can walk into the house and be completely free of any carcinogens. Firefighters have a higher risk of cancer. In fact, the Florida State Legislature just passed more legislation about firefighter benefits because the cancer rates are so high. And so this helps with that too. So the firefighters actually love the house environment rather than an industrial feel.
That's great. Well, and hopefully this can be replicated, throughout the state and beyond. So it sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, thank you. I have a background before I did this. I was president of the Historic Preservation Group. And so I'm really focusing at fitting into like our mainland station. I'm not totally happy because it's out of mass and scale, but if we can do these type of things, it fits the mass and scale, and fits the neighborhoods. We're part of the neighborhoods. Well, I have houses that I've seen now, or fire stations that are actually look like a house. They just have big garage doors, and that's where I want to go.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more comments? All right. Thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate you coming here every month and giving us these expansive or extensive reports because we're not used to this. So it's really cool. Thank you very much.
Hopefully we'll swallow it. We'll get you used to it. Thank you.
All right. Now we are up to item number 4. It's a presentation from Whit Blanton of Fort Pinellas. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm Whit Blanton. I'm the executive director of Fort Pinellas, and I'll keep things pretty informal today. Thank you very much for giving me a little bit of time on your agenda. I believe in your materials you have a presentation, but I think I just want to talk a little bit about a few of the items there. I've been trying to go around to all the cities every year, every couple of years. I think it's been a couple of years since I've been here. But I did want to just let you know what Fort Pinellas does and how we work on behalf of all the local governments in Pinellas County. We are both the Metropolitan Planning Organization and the Pinellas Planning Council, and we fulfill the county's charter for countywide planning. And we are unique among the state agencies, the Metropolitan Planning Organizations around the state of Florida, in that we have a planning council and a transportation planning agency that's under one governing board with one staff. We provide a lot of technical assistance to local governments. In fact, we are working with Bel Air Bluffs right now on a pedestrian safety and access plan for their commercial area just across the bridge. And we are going to be working with Indian Rocks Beach on revising their 1981 Land Development Code. So little things like that are part of the technical assistance we provide. I have a governing board of 19 elected officials. It's a lot larger than it used to be, but we've expanded that board to ensure broader representation among the county elected officials. And the Big C, the Barrier Islands Government Council, has a voting seat on our board. It's represented by Mayor Brooks from Madeira Beach. Every year, Fort Pinellas adopts transportation priorities for Pinellas County. We have an annual list that we'll be approving next Monday. And that goes to the Florida Department of Transportation, and the DOT looks at that list and they fund as much as they have revenue to fund and add those projects to the 5-year DOT state work program. So we have quite a bit of projects, about 65 different transportation projects funded in the 5-year work program, and they range from a sidewalk project in Indian Shores to major interchanges on US 19 and the new Howard Franklin Bridge that just opened, the express lane. So they can be many millions of dollars or they can be several $100,000 projects. We do also offer a local government grant program that is available for every local government. We can do planning activities or we can do construction projects with that grant program. It is the use of our federal dollars. And we have allocated funds to St. Pete Beach and to Madeira Beach and Treasure Island for various projects through that grant program. So our application process will be open this summer, typically around July. We evaluate those project recommendations and the board provides funding for those come March. So if you're interested in that, we'd be happy to have a further conversation with you about that. Importantly, we are having a conversation with our partners in Hillsborough County and Pasco County about creating a single transportation planning agency for the Tampa Bay region. At least there's 3 counties in the region. That merger discussion has progressed pretty far. It was initiated by the Florida legislature in 2023 that required that we look at a feasibility study of merging our organizations. We now have a structure in place for doing that, and today we distributed a draft set of bylaws and interlocal agreement to the county commissioners, and I'll be sharing that with my board next week for them to review. If we were to merge, it would create a stronger, more unified regional organization that could better advocate for transportation funding throughout Tampa Bay. And as we've had this conversation, we've been very careful that by going regional, that we're not leaving any of our local governments here in Pinellas County behind, because we feel very strongly that that local touch and local connection is incredibly important in the work we do. So I've created some frameworks that we would have staff still embedded in Pinellas County, perhaps still as part of the Pinellas Planning Council, to work on more local issues, while some of our staff would be more regionally focused. In moving that conversation forward, we also have to have a conversation about the Pinellas Planning Council and how we carry out that countywide planning charter. Because the board of the Pinellas Planning Council in state statute is the same as the Metropolitan Planning Organization. And I don't think we want Pasco and Hillsborough County commissioners voting on land use decisions here in Pinellas County. So we are opening up the special act that created the Pinellas Planning Council for potential revision, and we have convened a subcommittee of our board to review that and develop those recommendations. It took almost 5 years to merge the Pinellas Planning Council and the MPO back in 2010, and that finally took effect in 2015, and I was hired as the executive director. So we know it's a bit of a process. What that special act does, though, is it allows us to have a unified set of countywide plans and countywide rules so that it's consistent from local government to local government about how they go through the process of amending the countywide plan. And you can change your future land use in a local government, but it has to be consistent with the countywide plan. So that subcommittee will be developing those recommendations this fall, and we will be seeking a legislative sponsor to help us advance that potentially in the next legislative session. And that all ties into the merger of the MPO, because we expect that to go forward no later than July 1st of 2028, assuming that the 3 county commissions and the city of Tampa, which have vested authority, vote in favor of it. And I'm seeing some good progress along those lines. One of the things that we have done, in addition to putting those bylaws and our local agreement together, is we've compared our different organizations. We've looked at how we do things similarly, how we do things differently. The next step would be, what kind of a staff structure do we need in place, and where would that staff work? Again, it's going to be a regionally focused organization, so we don't yet know what that location would be. We also have developed a plan for having 25 elected officials serve on that board, or 23 elected officials, and then one representative of the Port, Tampa Bay, and one representative of Tampa International Airport. They currently serve on the Hillsborough Metropolitan Planning Organization, but they're regional organizations and serve the entire region. Of those 23 elected official seats, Pinellas would have 8. We still need to work out exactly how that would be allocated, but we're looking at 2 county commissioners, 2 St. Pete city council members, and then 1 for each of the cities over 50,000 population. That would be Largo, Pinellas Park, and Clearwater. And then we would have 1 seat reserved for smaller cities below 50,000, potentially appointed by the Pinellas Planning Council. Those details need to be finalized, so they're not set in stone yet. But I did want to give you that update and also let you know that a project that we're working on that may affect Bel Air Beach is we have been working with the city of Clearwater to develop a traffic study for traffic flow from the Sand Key Bridge through the roundabout area on Clearwater Beach. And those recommendations are making their way now to the Clearwater City Council. Probably by July, they will have a workshop on those recommendations. And we are looking at potentially replacing the roundabout on Clearwater Beach with a different signal structure, because the roundabout has been pretty effective for 20, 25 years since it was first implemented, but it's quickly not able to handle the capacity or the traffic demand that's moving through that area. And so traffic, as you know, backs up over the Sand Key Bridge. It also backs up over the Memorial Causeway Bridge because it's just handling too many cars moving through that intersection. We're working with the city to tie it into a parking garage that they're looking to build by the Clearwater Beach Marina. I know we've been here with the county to talk about traffic flow around this bridge as it interfaces with Gulf Boulevard, and I know the county's made some additional modifications to the striping and the timing plans for that intersection. As we develop this proposal for the city of Clearwater, we would be happy to work with you to revisit those timing plans and any other adjustments to help move traffic through this area, because I know that's been a significant issue for the town and will probably continue to be in the future. But we are ready to be of any assistance, and I look forward to assisting you and serving and answering any questions that I may. But thank you again for the time to be here today.
All right, thank you. Do you have time to hang around for questions?
Yes, I sure do.
Council, any questions or comments for Mr. Blanton?
I have a comment. I'm pleased to hear you're looking at Clearwater Beach. I wish they would put a moratorium on construction up there for a while. But I don't believe it's just vehicle traffic that's the problem. They need walkovers. They need to get pedestrians off the street. It's the crosswalks. They're backing up traffic just as much as the roundabout.
It's a combination of all that,
Yeah.
Absolutely, for sure.
So hopefully y'all will include that in your.
It's part of the plan, so I've seen a draft of the plan, and the plan does reallocate some of the space on the roadways for that. There is a pedestrian crossover that's planned as part of the strategy as well.
That's great, thank you.
Any other comments? No? All right. Mr. Blanton, I appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you for the information.
Thanks again, anytime.
Great information, thank you.
All right, we are up to the city attorney report. Mr. Trask, you have the floor.
Thank you. Just to update you, I have been preparing the ordinances that I've been given direction to prepare relative to the workshop agenda items that have been discussed over the last 2 months. The majority of those ordinances have been prepared. I'll be providing them to Kyle within the next week or so for his comments, and then hopefully we'll get on a workshop for discussion.
All right. Any questions or comments for Tom?
Thank you.
All right. Now we are on to the city manager report. Mr. Reefer, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor. So, start off with 1001 Cedar, the Public Works House. We are working through the permitting for the electric panel to be relocated from the house structure to the detached garage. We expect that to take probably about 4 to 6 weeks, and then we're also working on the demolition permit to follow up behind it. And we just want to ensure that when the building is demolished and cleared out, we can follow up immediately with the proposed fencing around the lot to at least give some kind of screening for what is on the lot used by the employees. The code reviews, we are to the point where I've sent all the draft ordinances to Attorney Trask, as he mentioned. So I expect that we'll be doing some first readings in the July meeting. And we have some readings that we're doing tonight for some of the more time-sensitive ordinance revisions. We were slated to do the report on the 22nd Street Bridge, which was last Tuesday, the 26th. We did not have an in-person quorum, so we had to postpone that meeting. So I have it rescheduled for a presentation on the same night as the budget workshop on June 22nd. And we'll also continue to discuss the new objectives and planning for the updates to the strategic plan as well as our budget planning. The underground project materials are in the lot for J&M, which is subcontractor who's installing and doing the boring, and they're expected to return within 1 or 2 weeks to finish up that conduit. And then we also have identified some of the damage at Gulf Boulevard in Harrison, where some of the larger boring machines were sitting for a period of time where they have identified the damage and they are going to restore it with the county following the project. So in case anyone was inquiring about the damage. And staff did another grading assignment for the escarpments on the beaches. Those are the ledges that are formed from when the tide washes up onto the replaced sand and it cuts it away, creates an erosion shelf. We get reports sent to us from the conservation program. We help grade out these escarpments to help the turtles do their nesting. So we completed another knockdown of those on the 28th, and I think it's going to be about a monthly routine as we get through turtle season, so expect some more. And Pinellas County, as Whit mentioned, they're doing another traffic study, looking at Gulf Boulevard. We've been talking about possibly reducing the speed. I did a follow-up with the traffic division today to learn when they expect to have those numbers ready and give that presentation. But I thought it was important that we looked at the speed along with some of the other dangerous pedestrian crossings and just try to improve pedestrian safety along Gulf Boulevard. And that is all I have for.
All right, questions or comments for City Manager Reefer?
Yes. There's been, actually, I got an email from a resident about reducing the speed limit on Boulevard, 30 miles an hour. How do we proceed with that, since it's within that code to do that, or just that to do that?
So right now I have the county gathering the traffic data information, and they're going to present their findings to the council for consideration and go over the factors that would weigh into reducing the speed of this.
How long do you think that's going to take? Because I believe the council can reduce that speed just by a vote.
I believe it's one vote. I did write Don Washburn in traffic today asking for a time to what did not get it done. I'm hoping July or August.
All right, thank you.
Other questions or comments?
Yes, question. On the advanced pedestrian crossing signals, so I guess we just took one area, like 19th Street, and they gave us an estimate of 12,000. Did they explain at all what that might entail? What are we getting for that?
So that is it's a similar signaling system, but it's more advanced. So it's another step further away.
Okay, so it's
I
like
think
two-step.
Yeah. We get a pretty multi-step process of making the driver aware.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, City Manager Ruther. Now we're up to the city clerk report. Ms. Thornsberry.
Hi, my packet is, or my report is in the packet. Attended the city council meetings. I also attended the Big C in Madeira Beach. Prepared and finalized meeting minutes for multiple meetings this past month. Processed the records requests that have come through. Preparing the newsletter that will be going out this week. And also working on the candidate qualifying binders that's going to be for next week, June 15th through the 19th. We'll be qualifying, or I guess not next week, 2 weeks. And we do have 3 council seats and a mayor seat that is going to be up for the election. And that will be November 3rd.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions or comments for the city clerk? No? All right, thank you, Kathy. All right, now we're up to citizen comments. We'll open the floor for citizen comments. This is the time for members of the community to address the council on any matter not currently listed on the formal agenda. Guidelines for speakers. Please approach the podium, state your name, and provide your address for the record. We ask that you limit your remarks to 3 minutes and direct all comments to the council as a whole. If another resident wishes to yield their time to you, I will allow a one-time extension for a total of 6 minutes. Council, please keep your comments until the end of the meeting for council comments. And would anyone like to speak? Yes, Mr. Joe Manzo, please come up. And who is yielding their time?
Deborah Moore. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Joseph Manzo, former mayor, Bel Air Beach. As you know, I'm an attorney. I represent right now one person that's going to change. We had to redo the retainer agreement because of what Bel Air Shore did last week. And what did they do last week? They did what we expected they were going to do. They submitted an application to the Department of Environmental Protection to vacate the erosion control line, which I'll call the ECL, which has been in place since 1997. If you don't know what that is, there's an imaginary line in the sand. You could actually see a map of this if you go to the property appraiser's website. And it starts at the beginning or the south end of Bel Air Shore. That house has about 100 feet of private sand, and it extends all the way to the north. When you get to the Ryan Howard mansion, they've got about 5 feet of sand, maybe 10 feet of sand. And it's kind of a nice diagonal. That's been in place. When that was set in place, it was set in place by the governor. Based upon the existing mean high water mark, and that was there for the purpose of beach renourishment. They never did a beach renourishment as far as we can tell. And based upon that, they believe that they can now make an application to vacate that. I respectfully disagree. And I spent a good part of today confirming my legal findings. We will be challenging this, definitely. So there's other reasons why this should be challenged besides just legal, but I will be challenging the legal on behalf of my clients. I have been working with Mayor Dave. He and I have spoken. I'm not going to say what he and I discussed. I will say that we've agreed that he's working in one area and I'm working in another area. So we're not duplicating it and we're supportive of each other. He can go into more detail if he wants regarding what he's actually doing. And I appreciate what he is doing. I will be filing a opposition when I find out what the DEP wants. Already I'm beginning to start to get bad vibes. We had a good relationship. We told them that we were going to be opposing it, and I said, what's the deadline? And I've heard crickets. You can stall me, you can play games, you all know me, I don't go away, I don't get deterred. We will be putting in an opposition. And I'll give them about a day to get back to me. But by Wednesday, I'll be calling the governor's office. Governor's the chairman of that committee, and I will be working my way down from the governor. I will get an answer, and we will get our response in. With that, I encourage the response we've had so far. Frank Bankert wrote an incredibly detailed and excellent opposition letter. If you haven't seen it, you should. We posted it. I don't think we did the greatest job of the formatting out on the Facebook site, but it really is excellent and explains some of the reasons why, I call them socioeconomic reasons why the ECL shouldn't be removed. This is going to be a disaster if it gets removed. Because what happens is you go from what's a fixed line that doesn't move to this mean high water mark, and the mean high water mark is a 19-year moving average. And nobody knows where it is, and it has to be set by surveyors. It makes the sheriff's job impossible. And if he, just talking to Deputy Trump, you arrest somebody and you think that they're in the wrong spot, and it turns out they were in the right spot, you just got a lawsuit for a false arrest. This is what's going on up in Walton County. I just saw a video today where Mr. Backstreet Boy actually gets in the face of this guy and sticks his phone in this guy's face. That's going to lead to violence. That's going to be a problem. And this guy almost punched him. I saw the video today. So this is what's coming. And we don't want it coming, okay? Bel Air Shores actually went on the record and said, we don't want those trucks, those renourishment trucks, riding over our sand. That was the catalyst for all of this. Well, that sounds great because they don't take sand. The problem is, how do you get to Indian Rocks? How do you get to Reddington? How do you get up to Clearwater? It's like putting a wall in the middle of the project, so it doesn't help anyone. Top of that, they don't like those damn sea turtle people. They don't want those sea turtles relocated there. Well, we love sea turtles, okay? We like manatees, we like dolphins in Florida, and we like sea turtles. But, you know, there's actually an interview in the newspaper where they call the sea turtles trespassers. And I'm not kidding. Look it up in the Bel Air Bay. Sea turtles are trespassers. This is just some of the reasons. These projects are going to become enormously expensive to the point maybe where they can no longer be done if you have to start moving heavy machinery out. So we can't support this. Now, Daniel Story, their vice mayor, and I had a nice conversation. He told me he had a map that showed the mean high water mark. And they expect that, he said, that he's going to lose some ground on his property in terms of private land, but they're going to gain in the north part of town. I think that's right. Ever since I've lived here, the northern part of town has had a lot of dry sand. You go outside the Ryan Howard mansion, it's always been dry sand. Right now, there's maybe 5 feet of private sand. By the time they get done, there'll be maybe 60, 70 feet of private sand. We don't know exactly, and that's the problem. But I will tell you this, I've been working with these people, I've been working against these people and some of the stuff they've been trying to do. They're not doing it for our benefit, folks. Okay, they're doing it because they think they're going to get more private sand. And I don't like this idea that you're going to block the heavy equipment, and I don't like this idea that you're going to actually impede sea turtles, which like 1 in 1,000 actually survive. So we're going to oppose it. I ask that everyone in this town do their best to oppose it. Kyle, I thank privately, I'm going to thank him publicly, made our facility available. We had 100 people in here or more. We filled the house with concerned citizens. For once, I see that there's a fight in the belly of the Bel Air Beach people. That's good. You keep fighting, and I'll fight with you. But everybody wants to go home and watch basketball. I'm not going to do it, guys. I got better stuff to do, okay? So everybody keep the fight up. And to the council, we welcome your involvement. One person, not enough. I want to see 5 people. This got an election, I'm not running, don't worry. But this comes down to one word if I was running, beaches. Fight for it, guys, okay? We appreciate your help, appreciate the time that you've given us, and keep up the fight. Thank you.
Mr. Manzo. Do we have other citizens that would like to speak? Yes, sir, please come right up.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Martin Leventon, 109 4th Street here in Bel Air Beach. Mr. Art Muller has agreed to yield 3 minutes to me, so I'll try and keep it short. Wasn't going to talk about this, but just to follow up with Joe, okay, if the ECL is moved seaward, not only are there going to be issues with the vehicles going back and forth, we have special needs and handicapped people that live here, okay? At Sand Key, they lend out beach wheelchairs. We have ladies and gentlemen with infants and snuggle sacks. If you've got to go out into that water in January when it's cold, and now you've got to walk through the water to avoid a trespass, God forbid somebody takes a tumble either a special needs person or an infant or whatever, just so that they can have their own damn boundary line. They're mean-spirited, you know it, I know it, they know it. I had an opportunity briefly to talk to DEP Administrator Mr. Guy Weeks. He was the guy, pardon the play on words, that we initially approached about this. And we had some conversations, maybe about a month ago. And he actually said to me, Martin, he said, you know, we will entertain a citizen's petition. You're citizens, but you're also elected officials, and we desperately need your support. We need to send a message over there and to the state that this entire council is with us. So accordingly, our Bel Air Beach Shoreline Alliance has a little petition here. I can tell you as a non-practicing Florida attorney that you're not signing your life away here. I really don't think you need counsel to take a look at this, although he's more than welcome to. That's why I have the 6 minutes. I'm going to hand this up to Ms. Thornberry, and if you lady and gentlemen take a look at it quickly, it really would be great, short of a resolution, if you all could sign that. And maybe put a little council person on there. We'll put it together with the packet that we're going to put together with Joe and myself and get it up to DEP. We really need you folks to be with us and not against us. And again, I want to thank Councilman Frank Bankert, Joe, Debbie Ball, Yoli, Rodero. Joe Manzo has probably volunteered tens of thousands of dollars of legal hours to look into all of these issues. Trust me, okay? We're constantly on the phone going back and forth talking about some legal theories and whatnot. I'm not going to elaborate on them, but honest to goodness, we're spending a hell of a lot of time on this. And there's probably hundreds of more hours that we're going to have to put into this if we're going to win this thing. So again, please take 2 minutes of your time, take a look at the petition, and I would ask you to sign it. And if you want to return it to me now, that would be absolutely wonderful to show your support. Otherwise, whenever you can. Anybody else here tonight? I have some extra petitions.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Anybody else?
You don't expect any help.
Well, we need public support. I mean,
I know you.
Pardon my language, but what the heck
Point of order.
does it matter if you sign this right now? I'm trying to save you folks some time so you don't have to go through an elaborate resolution, but time is of the essence. We need to get our packet back up to DEP. So again, I'm going to ask you, would you folks kindly sign it and make it available to us right now?
Can we speak after the meeting?
I would like this on the record, Councilwoman.
I'm happy to sit down with you after the meeting.
There's nothing to sit down. This is not a complicated.
I'm sorry, point of order. We're not having a back and forth
All right,
discussion.
I apologize.
I do appreciate what's going on, but this is not the correct time for it.
All right, well, I'm going to do what I've done for 45 years when I've been in court. Let the record reflect that the Bel Air Beach City Council is absolutely positively refusing to sign a simple petition saying that they are opposed to removal of the erosion control line. Again, you don't want to sign, that's fine. You are on the record right now.
Could you take Frank Bankert out of that? I signed.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
All right, thank you, sir. Ms. Thornberry, whenever it's convenient, if you could give me Councilman Bankert's petition. The rest of you, all I can say is God help you when they push you into the water when you take a walk on that beach.
I'm sure that there will be plenty to say during council comments. All right, would anyone else like to speak? All right, citizen comments are now closed. All right, now we're to number 9, city manager follow-up. Mr. Reefer, anything you'd like to add?
I don't have anything to add, thank you.
All right, now we're up to the consent agenda, items 10 through 12. This is for approval of the April 27th, 2026 City Council work session minutes. The May 4th, 2026 City Council meeting minutes and the May 14th, 2026 City Council work session minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion is made by Councilmember Shirley. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by Vice Mayor Roberts. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
No.
All right, the consent agenda passes. All right, now we are on to the regular agenda, item number 13. This is for consideration of ordinance 2026-10. This is the first reading. Tom, would you please read the ordinance and give us a brief summary of its purpose?
Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance 2026-10, an ordinance of the City of Bel Air Beach, Florida, amending section 94-209 Heights of Division 3, Residential Low, RL, District 2 of Article 4 Districts of Chapter 94 Zoning of the Land Development Code of the City of Bel Air Beach Code of Ordinances by allowing for variances to elevation requirements if determined necessary by the floodplain manager or his or her designee to meet compliance with floodplain management regulations and/or the Florida Building Code, providing for codification, severability, and for an effective date. That was the first reading of ordinance 2026-10 by title only. On page 2 of the ordinance under section 1, you'll see that you're changing the last sentence, which prohibited variances to be requested or granted, and this allows for the floodplain manager or his or her designee to determine whether or not a variance is appropriate. So you're just giving the property owners a little bit more of an opportunity to provide for variances if needed.
Thank you, Tom. Before we go to council, would any citizen like to comment on this ordinance? All right, citizen comments are now closed. Council, I need a motion to approve ordinance 2026-10.
So moved.
Is that you? All right. Second. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. You're up.
The premise that a height requirement for the properties is definitely a requirement that is needed within the community as a whole, but we run into conflict on this particular ordinance of a floodplain requirement of a particular minimum height and a maximum height of a particular property variation. So the conversation that has really been had has been that the floodplain manager should have the wherewithal and the ability to nominate a property or a situation for a variance hearing. It is not an approval of a variance, it is simply the ability to apply for variance. So with that ability and flexibility, I think it's in the benefit of the homeowners.
Thank you, Mr. Harper. Do we have other comments from the council? No? All right, in that case, Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bankert?
Yes.
Councilmember Harper?
Yes.
Councilmember Shirley?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Roberts?
Aye.
Mayor Gaddis?
Aye. So ordinance 2026-10 passes unanimously. Now we are on to, this will be read again next month. Now we're on to item number 14. This is consideration of resolution 2026-04. City Attorney Trask, would you please read the resolution?
Yes, Mayor. This is Resolution 2026-04, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Bel Air Beach, Florida, calling for a general election to be held on November 3rd, 2026, for the purpose of electing a mayor for a full term of office, a city council member for a full term of office, and 2 council members for the remaining tenure of 2 recently vacated council member positions. To establish the qualifying date and process for persons seeking elective office for the 2026 municipal election, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the supervisor of elections establishing a polling place for the November 2026 election, authorizing the Pinellas County Supervisor of Elections to verify candidate addition cards and facilitate the election process, repealing Resolution 2026-01 and providing an effective date. That was reading of Resolution 2026-04 by title only. The only changes made from your previous resolution, 2026-01, which you had adopted recently, is that we're addressing the need to fill the position that was recently vacated. So you're adding an additional person to the election cycle. So I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any, but that's the only change from the previous resolution that you had adopted.
All right, thank you, Tom. Would any citizen like to comment on this resolution? All right, citizen comments are now closed. Council, I need a motion to approve Resolution 2026-04.
So moved.
Give that to Vice Mayor Roberts and seconded by Councilmember Shirley. Vice Mayor, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. This is just a simple addition, as Attorney Trask just told us. So I think it's everything that we need to do for the upcoming election in November, and we should get this done now.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I have. I'm still wondering what happened to the election in 2025. Okay? Let me read you the ballot questions of 2024. Shall the city amend the charter to prohibit council members, including the mayor, from serving more than 3 consecutive terms as opposed to existing limitations prohibiting council members from serving more than 2 consecutive terms? That passed overwhelmingly. Then we go down to Charter Amendment 3. Increasing terms of office from 3 years to 4 years. Shall the city amend the charter to provide that each individual term of office for the city council members, including the mayor, shall be 4 years, as opposed to the existing 3-year terms, beginning with the officials elected in 2024, and amend the regular election cycle to accommodate the longer election terms. Our charter is specific, okay? I'm the only elected official up here. I'm the only elected official up here. All these guys expired last year.
How does that happen?
How that happened? Because we changed the ordinance, okay, in the charter, okay, without voter referendum. There's a case, you can pull it up on Google, it happened in Miami. They tried the same thing, the Third Circuit Court threw them out. So this is. We had a morality class last month, okay, on Frank Bankert being censured, okay? But we have this whole council up here that's illegal. So I am dead against this.
I beg to differ. You weren't actually elected at all.
Oh, I was
You
elected.
walked right into a spot.
Read
that
the
was
charter
open. There was
again.
no
I
election.
know you probably can't read unless Trask is telling you, but read the charter, okay? I'm automatically elected if nobody runs.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I'm making a comment right now. Read the charter that you haven't read.
I have read the charter.
Well, it hasn't absorbed. What's the point?
What is the point? That's my question.
Well, you made the point of order. What's the point of order?
The point of order is that you're out of order.
How am I out of order?
What is the topic?
The topic is the elections of 2026.
Correct. So why are we
Okay?
talking
And I'm bringing up the election of 2025 that never occurred. That's the point. What is your point of order? What is this? Are you throwing pizza in the air? This is.
You get up and you talk, and then you have no documentation of anything other than.
I just read you what the voters voted.
You off a bunch of words. Go ahead. Yeah, put it in play.
I am putting it in play, and you can't accept the reality of
Both
it.
of you to stop right now. Let's just get through this vote.
Why?
Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bankert,
No.
Councilmember Harper,
Yes.
Councilmember Shirley,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Roberts,
Aye.
Mayor Gaddis.
Aye. Resolution 2026-04 passes 4-1.
It's a disgrace.
That's a bad Mayor and your laptop.
Disgrace.
All right. Next up, item 15. It's consideration of applications for city council. We have Marv Beam and we have Kent Goff. Since we have 2 open positions with equal terms and 2 candidates that have applied, we will give each candidate the opportunity to introduce himself. Then we will go to citizen comments concerning that candidate. For each candidate, I will call for a motion to vote. procedure for each will be motion, debate, and roll call vote. That way we don't have to have ballots. This is Marv here. Hello, Mr. Beam. Would you like to come up and introduce yourself to the council?
Marv Beam, Louisa Drive. I got involved with the council in 2003 on the code enforcement board. The following year, I ran for election, got on the city council from 04 to 06, waited a year, and got on the variance committee until 2015, ran for council again, and that was a 3-year stint, and then waited a year, was on the variance committee again until I had some surgery a number of years ago, so I had to resign. But the opportunity came up, and I'd like to fill in for whatever time it is on either one of those two openings. Just to give you a little more history, retired from AT&T Lucent after 37 years as a building engineer or stationary engineer. I have the licenses to prove it. Other than that, 8 years of military, and lived here since 2001, December. Any questions?
Council?
Marv, I want to thank you from day one when I was running. You've been a great teacher. You've informed me so much about this city that I didn't know. I want to thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
I just want to say, I've worked with Marv over the years. He's been great, a great asset to the city. He has a lot of history, knowledge of the local community, and I would welcome you joining the committee. Thank you for stepping up.
Thank you very much.
I too have worked with Marv, and I'm hoping that we will get it back.
Thank you, Mark.
Next up, we have Kent. Welcome, sir.
Kent Goff. I live at 105th Street. I lived in Bel Air Beach for 10 years. I built my house here. Last time I was in front of the city council, I applied for a variance. That'd be 12 years ago. I've not served on city council, so this would be a first for me. I'm a licensed architect. I'm a licensed contractor. I'm a licensed home inspector, all in the state of Florida. I'm the president of Fieldstone Architecture and Engineering, or an architecture and engineering firm that focuses our energy on large production home builders. There would be no issues. We don't do any custom homes or any work with any single family residents. So I don't see any conflicts of interest here with the business that I do. My son was born here, and I proposed to my wife on this beach 13, 14 years ago. So this is my home. I love an opportunity to serve, and I'd like to work with each and every one.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments? Mr. Goff.
Quick question.
Yes.
Hi, Kent, and thanks for applying. So I noticed you graduated from USF in '91, and then you also got a degree, your Master's of Architecture. So 2 quick questions. So what was your incentive to get into architecture after you had the other degree? And what type of work did you do between them?
Yeah, so the first degree was a degree in international studies. I wanted to go into international law. My stepfather's a lawyer. And the closer it got to law school, the more I wanted to be an architect. So I went back to school, became what I really wanted to do.
Great. All right, thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments?
Just a quick comment about that. Your resume is very impressive.
Thank you.
Great to see someone else in the construction business. It's really helpful. I think from a council position, you've been on the other side quite a bit, so you have a good idea of what it's like dealing with councils and community organizations. And I
do appreciate you stepping forward and helping us, because we've had some open seats for quite some time. And it's nice to see someone from the community step up and be interested in what we're really doing and get involved. So thank you.
I appreciate it, thank you. And it got to the point where my son, he just turned 10, so he can kind of manage on his own. So I got a little bit of flexibility.
Thank you. All right, any other questions? No? All right, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
All right, now what we'll do is we'll go to the citizens for comments on either of these candidates. Would anyone like to speak? All right, citizen comments are now closed.
I want to comment.
Oh, please come up.
My name is Darlene Gray. I live at 108 12th Street. I'd like to know from both of the men how you would have handled the situation where there are people on this council who were not voted in for this past year.
I'm sorry, you are not addressing the candidates, you're addressing the council.
Oh, I thought you said, do we have any questions to the candidates?
On behalf of the candidates, you can comment.
Okay, well, on
for
that,
us.
are you going to answer for them?
No.
Then I know the answer. Thank you.
All right. Any other citizens like to speak? All right, citizen comments are now closed. Council, I'm going to need a motion to vote for Mark Beam to serve on the city council until the next upcoming election, which is in November. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion is made by Frank Banker. Do I have a second? Second. Second by Councilmember Harper. Mr. Banker, you have the floor.
Mark's a great citizen, he was a great councilman. We'd be blessed to have him back.
Other comments from the council? All right. In that case, Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bankert?
Yes.
Councilmember Harper?
Yes.
Councilmember Shirley?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Roberts?
Aye.
Mayor Gaddis?
Aye. So, Mr. Beam, welcome back. We will get you sworn in after the second vote takes place. And congratulations. All right, now I need a motion to vote for Kent Goff to serve on the city council until the next upcoming election, which again is in November. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion is made by Councilmember Bankert. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Roberts. Mr. Bankert, you have the floor.
I don't know you. I plan to know you. I do know the work that you did on your house. It's beautiful. I can't believe we have somebody this young that wants to serve on this council. Thank God. I think you'd be an asset.
Any other comments? All right. Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bankert?
Yes.
Councilmember Harper?
Yes.
Councilmember Shirley?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Roberts?
Aye.
Mayor Gaddis?
Aye. And congratulations, Mr. Goff, and welcome to the City Council. Now, Kathy, would you please do the honor of swearing in Mr. Beam and Mr. Goff? Will you gentlemen, would you mind, please stand up and come see Kathy.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support, honor, protect, and defend
That I will support, honor, protect, and defend
the Constitution and the government of the United States
the Constitution and the government of the United States
and of the state of Florida,
and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state of Florida
under the Constitution of the state of Florida
and under the charter of the city of Bel Air Beach,
and under the charter of the city of Bel Air Beach,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of council member
the duties of council member
upon which I am now about to enter,
on which I am now about to enter.
so help me God.
So help me God.
There's still a couple minutes in this meeting. If you'd like to come sit up on the podium, you can, but I won't make you. All right. Now we're up to item number 16, which is unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? All right, now we're on to item 17. Council comments. Let's start with Councilmember Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On the consent agenda item, May 4th council meeting, I asked my fellow council members for a motion to move this matter to an agenda item so it could be discussed and debated. That motion failed like many of my motions, so I will now put on the record why I wanted this to be a separate item. First, the item I wanted to reference in May council meeting was item number 12, resolution censure of myself. A motion was made, but no second was made for a timely matter. The chair ruled the motion died. About 40 seconds later, after the chair moved to the next agenda item, a second was made. Our charter directs our meetings to follow Robert's Rules of Order. Once the chair ruled that the resolution died for lack of a second, the motion was no longer pending before council. A second offer after the matter had been declared dead and was not timely and could not, by itself, revive the resolution. To properly consider the resolution again, it would have needed to be brought back before council through the appropriate parliamentary procedure rather than by accepting a late second after the item had been disposed of. Our charter also, in section 2.045, general powers and duties of the mayor and city council. A, mayor. The mayor shall be the presiding officer of the city council and shall conduct all meetings using Robert's Rules of Order as a guideline or any ordinance pertaining to the conduct of council meetings. The presiding officer shall vote on matters of regular members of council, but shall not move or second a motion unless the presiding officer passes the gavel to the most senior council member, who will temporarily chair the meeting. Simply, the chair violated the charter by moving the resolution which he authored and ruled dead. I bring this to attention to the citizens and the council because the motion made to proceed with the resolution was noted in context of morality. This council watched in real time the charter being violated and Robert's rules being violated. The bottom line, either council, the unelected council, swore to an oath which they either never read, one being the charter, or the council has no morality. Marv, Ken, you're not included. That's all.
All right. Up next is Councilmember Harper.
As we kind of go through this disagreement, as we look at the process here, I don't have a problem with the concept, I don't have a problem with the topic, I have a problem with the delivery. We want to talk about the ECL, and we want to go to agreements, and we want to have committees, and we want to have alliances. Great, I'm all for it, and I'm willing to have that conversation, but if I was to walk with you and say, here's a legal document, put your name on it.
It's not a legal document.
Don't ever tell me to put a document with my name and signature on it that you're going to represent legally unless I've had a chance to review it.
Not back and forth.
So, bottom line is that I have considerations and concerns over the delivery, and I would like to address to the council the idea of workshop as it relates to what are the communication standards for the city and for the council as it relates to how we represent ourselves, not only to each other, but to the press. To be sitting on emails representing ourselves as council, but not including other council members in the emails and representing that to the press is not a standard that I want to adhere to and or be part of. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Councilmember Shirley.
Yeah, so I think it's clear that all of us on council are in agreement that the ECL line is a concern and something that we all support getting behind. But again, under pressure, I'm not going to be asked to sign something, nor will I sign anything. I'm open to discussing. We could not attend any meetings because that would be a violation of the Sunshine Law. All of us cannot be in a meeting where we might be talking about something we have to vote on. So there's some reasons behind that you may not understand why we can't attend these meetings, but that's a fact. And then I'll just quickly say, I was the one who made that second motion, and I made several attempts to be heard and could not get recognized. It may have been delayed, but it wasn't because of my lack of attempting to make that second motion. So Mayor Gaddis provided the opportunity for me to be heard, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Mayor Gaddis. And to the new council members, welcome aboard. I appreciate your volunteering and being involved. Thank you.
All right, next is Vice Mayor Roberts.
Thank you, Mayor. I agree wholeheartedly with both Councilmember Harper and Councilmember Shirley. We will address this issue in a workshop. I've contacted the state previously with DEP with similar questions regarding the infamous mean high water level. I've gotten various responses when I've asked them to define it. So this is not something to simply sign quickly without knowing and having a stable position to be able to defend and move forward. So the workshop, I think, is a great option, and I know we'll do that, and it will be successful. Thank you. And welcome to the 2 new council members. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Concerning the resolution, the motion was actually made by Vice Mayor Roberts, not by the mayor, just for the record. Also, anyone that was at this meeting, they knew that there was
Point of order, I thought we weren't supposed to be mentioning council people by name.
there was a
I didn't mention
communication
anybody by
issue. Excuse me, I'm trying to speak. Got
Well, I
your
raised
time. You
a
got
point
your
of order,
time.
Mayor Roy.
You got your time.
I raised a point of order. Are you going to rule
What's the point of order?
that council is not supposed to mention other council people's names during city council comments? That's why I didn't mention anybody's name.
Sure, I will, I'll accept that. All right, so during the meeting where the resolution was moved, it was not moved by me, it was moved by another council member. I cannot move, I cannot make a motion, never have, and I would never try that. So you can say whatever you want to whoever you want to, but I know what the truth is.
1 hour, 37 minutes. Look at the tape.
Now then, about this form, look, I am all for helping with this ECL issue. What started with something that I was trying to do that was going to be helpful and good for the community was completely turned against me. Now, I do have some pull, and I can help this community. But the problem is that it doesn't sound like you want it any certain way but your own. And putting any of us in a corner and saying, do it now, sign here, or you're going to get demonized in the middle of this meeting does not work well for me. So, smart thing to do for all of you is to take this form home and do exactly what it says. Return the form to any of these people. Never sign anything during the middle of one of these meetings without at least having the opportunity to completely read it. And I would still highly recommend that you hold off on signing anything because you're under duress whenever you're handed a piece of paper in the middle of a meeting. That's all I've got other than welcome new council members. I greatly appreciate you helping us out, coming in and making us 7 again. And I look forward to working with both of you.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, good night.
Okay. Can I get you to sign this? You can just put your signature there, and then I'll notarize it.